Hi, so today's video is going to be about niche edits versus guest posts. What's the difference? Why would you choose one over the other? When would you use niche edits? When would you use guest posts? And yeah, I'm going to really break it down and make it really easy to understand. So if you haven't already, like and subscribe, comment any questions that you've got. Let's get into the video. No messing around. So niche edits, guest posts, we get asked this quite a lot because we offer both of these. And I always say the same thing. There's actually no difference between them. So when you really think about it, what you end up is with a link within some content. Whether you build niche edits, it's a link within content. Whether you're doing guest posts, it's a link within content. So the final result is actually the same thing. And the value, I would argue, is pretty much the same. Let's go into why they are different. So the process of getting a link is different. So with niche edits, you'll find an existing posts and you're putting a link in and getting a link back that way. With guest posts, you're writing a brand new post for the blogger, they're publishing it, and that's the way you're getting the link. Now let's go over some of the pros and cons and why would you use one over the other. So with niche edits, typically if you're doing it right, you're going to find a page which is indexed and has traffic, and also goes without saying relevant to the target site. So you're going to go out, find an indexed relevant blog post that's getting traffic, and yeah, you're going to go and pitch to them that I want a link in this post. Another benefit of niche edits is there's less write costs, if any. So if you're doing niche edits in a really sort of primitive way, you might try and find a post where the keyword already exists, and then you try and just get them to add the link. I wouldn't recommend this. I'd recommend always adding value to the existing post by writing a whole new section. I'll go over some examples or an example of a niche edit in a second. So even if you're writing a little section though, it's less write cost than guest posts. So that's a benefit. One of the cons is there's less control. So you don't have control over the whole post. You're trying to find a post that fits the best and has traffic. This isn't a big issue for most people. Having control over where your links come from. You wouldn't do that if they were coming naturally. So why would you start doing it if you're surgically getting links? So most SEOs know that this control thing is something not really to worry about, but we do work with clients, that may be particular about where the links are and what their content around the link is like. It's harder to pitch. So niche edit is a little bit weirder to pitch. So when you got a guest post, people are guest posting all the time. Can I write this piece of content on your blog? Everyone knows the economics of it. It's okay. You're writing a guest post for me, great, and in return you're getting this link and you're getting this exposure, you're getting this traffic. Okay, it's an easy deal. With a niche edit, it's a little bit more, I'd say a little bit less known, where you're kind of saying, can you just insert a little bit of text into this existing post? I want a link from it. Like, why? What do you want to do this for? And it's a little bit harder to pitch, that's all. There might be a little bit more time required in finding these posts as well, finding the right post. But yeah, anyway, let's take a look at a niche edit. So this is a site, foundersguide.com, which SEO factors have the biggest impact on Google rankings. And this post is listed backlinks, domain factors, content name, click-through rate, mobile friendliness, page speed, technical signals. Great. In backlinks, we've suggested that they add a section about niche edits. And we link back to FATJOE there. So we didn't just go in saying jam a link in your existing post. We said, hey, we can make your post better by adding this section that our expert has already wrote, and we're going to talk about X, Y, Z. Can you add it to your post and include the link if possible? Bloggers might be happy with this. Obviously, sometimes, money makes the world go round, but if you're actually adding value and you've actually got a statistic, or you've got an infographic, or you've got some kind of like quote, or on Harrow, people are asking for it all the time. I want a quote, and they give you a link in return. You can go out and find these existing posts, and say, look, I've got an expert quote. Add this to your post and return the favour by giving us a link. So, yeah, that's an example, a real life example of a niche edit, and the proper way to do it by adding value. Make the internet a better place. I know that we get a bad name and everything, SEOs, for manipulating Google and that kind of thing, but I think where you can, we need to try and add value, and don't just try and jam links into existing posts, and you'll get an easier response as well, an easier time when you're trying to get responses from your niche edit pitching. Moving on to guest posts. So guest posts, you get more control. So you can write the whole post. You can really control how the client is mentioned, keywords, what the post is about, the content quality. Again, my philosophy on this is you shouldn't care too much about the stylistic preference of the content around your link. You wouldn't do that in real life. The SEO of Amazon isn't sitting there stressing about all the bloggers that are linking to Amazon naturally. He isn't reading all the content and going, can you improve your grammar? Can you do this? Can you change this? They're just links coming in, and as long as they're safe, he's not caring too much or controlling too much about the content. But again, I understand a lot of people working with clients, and clients do care, even if you can't explain to them, it doesn't matter. I understand. Easier to pitch to the blogger, so yeah, guest posts. You go ahead and you pitch, right, we want to write this post. It's going to rank for this keyword. We're going to talk about this, and this, which is relevant to your audience. Your audience is going to love it. You post it. Include a link back to us. Perfect. Okay? It's an easy sell, and everyone understands it. I think everyone who's got a blog has been pitched a guest post before, and they've probably published a guest post before. It's just more common. With the downsides of this, the cons, writer cost. So with guest posts, you've got to pay a writer to write the guest post. I know these days we've got AI that's making things a bit easier. I'm still not sure about just pressing generate on AI. I think you've got to still make it good. A writer, someone with a writer brain, has got to edit it still. You've got a cost. You've certainly got more cost than a niche edit. So, that's a con of guest posts, especially at scale. You've got a longer index time. So with niche edits, they're already indexed. They're already they're already getting traffic. Most probably, once they've added the link in, it's going to be very quick for it to re-index again. With guest posts, you might have a longer time indexing. It might be a couple of weeks, it might be 3 weeks, 4 weeks before your post is actually indexed, and then an even longer time before it's ranking. If it's a new post, and if maybe it's a lower DA site or something. When you've got niche edits, you can kind of you got a head start. So an example of a guest post, just pulling up one randomly on this food blog. In with the content, it's a helpful blog post for this food site, and it's not promotional. It's not an advertorial. it's talking about something their audience will love, and it's including nice little facts in there, some little infographics and stuff, and within it there's a few links, and one of them will be for your client, but they're all helpful links, hopefully, and they're all adding value to the post. So that's another tip with guest posting, like, don't make it an advertorial. Even if your client wants advertorials, you need to get it into their head that you're not doing advertorials here. You're working, your main person to make happy here is the blogger. So the blogger needs to be happy posting this content. It needs to fit in with the rest of their site. Don't try and please your client with this, because the bloggers are just going to refuse the content if it's an advertorial. You're not doing a review. You're not doing this company's so good. Look at all these things that this company does. Blah blah blah. You need to make it right. Here's 5 tips on how to do this, or here's how to do this, or here's a guide on this, and then include your client naturally. And with guest posting, this is probably for another video. I wouldn't recommend doing traditional guest posting for your link building at scale. If all your links are coming from guest posts where your links in the author box and you've got a guest post label or a contributed label, it's not natural. So I would try and get the process so you're writing for the blogger, so you're writing something from the blogger's point of view. They can post it in their main feed. They'll feature it front and center rather than in some kind of category, guest post category. That's for another video though. But you get the picture. So between niche edits and guest posts, what's the difference? Which one would I use? Well, I would use both. The end result is the same, as I said. The end result is the same. But if I'm looking at this from the world of natural virality, natural promotion, natural acquisition of links, some of your links are going to come from existing articles, some of your links are going to come from new articles. All right, that's just the way the world works, the world of the internet. So I would probably just do like a 50-50 split. I would just go 50% niche edits, 50% guest posts, and that's it. Don't overthink it. Some of your links are coming from existing, some of the links are coming from new posts. Niche edits, you're going to get the benefit of getting some results faster, because presumably you're going to be getting on to already indexed, getting traffic posts, so therefore the value is going to come in a bit quicker. Guest posts is going to take a little bit longer, but probably not that much longer. The ranking benefit, if you're designing your guest post to rank for something, that might take a little bit longer, but maybe the value of the link will come through beforehand. But yeah, do both. There is a little bit cost and process differences. For us, like with FATJOE, we don't have any cost difference between the two, because we don't want to encourage more orders of one or the other. Where we save on money on the niche edits for the writing costs, we actually use more resource on finding good posts to write on. Finding a good post to write on is a lot harder than just finding a website to write a new post on. There's a bit more work into it, goes into it. So yeah, I treat them as just they're just the same. They're just links within content at the end of the day, and there's just 2 different ways of getting them. Just to be on the safe and natural side, I'll do a little bit of both, 50-50. Don't overthink it. Handful of each every month, and yeah, that's it. So if you've got this far, thank you, and remember to like, subscribe, comment with any questions. I'm going to answer every single one, and yeah, see you on the next one.